Hey, listen, I know you hate your job, and I know majority of the people hate their jobs, and probably right now you're about to prepare and go to your job, or maybe you're just out of your job and you feel like, geez, I feel like I want to quit my job. But guess what? You're not alone. Over 85% of people actually hate their jobs. They hate their jobs. Now, on this video, I'm going to share with you quite an interesting topic because guess what it says? Even if you hate your job, never do this. Now, what's that thing that I'm actually warning you to never do even if you hate your job? Or what you need to do, sit back, relax, and I'm going to share to it, or I'm going to share with you to the end. All right, so now, this is the point. And by the way, I'm going to be brief, precise, and to the point. Now, listen one thing. There is nothing amazing if you do have yourself, or you are lucky. By the way, consider yourself lucky if you have something that you can be able to do that is generating you income. Even if it's not your venture, or rather, should I say something that you love, but you're employed somewhere and you're making something at the end of the day. That's an amazing thing. So most of the mistake that I usually find people do is that you quit your job because on the basis like, hey, you hate it, and I feel like the boss doesn't love me, and I think those guys whom I work with, like my colleagues, are not like the most amazing people whom I work with because of backbiting and what have you. So you end up quitting your job and say, hey, I would rather even suffer but don't get myself into that kind of a job. Yeah, I understand that kind of a view, which is okay and legit. But today, before you actually make that decision, you should do that. Why? One thing, you're supposed to understand that is the primary source of your income. Is a primary source of your what? Is a primary source of your income. And remember one thing, we all have dreams. Probably one day you would like to get into the business. You want to get yourself into the entrepreneurship and what have you. Let's be sincere. Let's not lie to each other. That what you're doing right now, even if you don't get that amount of money that you feel that you are worth, the point is this, at least you're getting something. And remember one thing, that your job or your salary is the main source of your capital that you need to start a job in future. Number one, your salary is the what? Is the main source of your what? Capital that you need to start a job in future. That's what you're supposed to understand. So the problem is this, you're expecting miracles to happen out of that place that you're employed. I remember thing, this is what I wanted to stick at the back of your head. Nobody on earth employs you or will ever employ you to be wealthy. This is the reality. They substituted jobs or the salary with what they used to do to the slaves. See, back then slaves used to work very hard indeed, and then they used to be given food and the place to live and probably clothing. All right. Now, the point is this. They came a lot of people who are called the activists, human fighting and whatever. We call it the human activists, rights and what have you. So they said, hey, we do believe that actually a free person can actually work and be productive far much better compared to the slaves. And that thing was actually reversed, and then they introduced the salary. So instead of them giving you food, so what they did is now to pay you so that at least they make you feel like you're free to actually take the money and actually do what? Buy food for yourself, buy the clothing and the shelter and what have you. But guess what? That amount of money that they give at the end of the day or the week or the month or whichever the time that you get paid is actually equivalent to sustain your normal day activities. Meaning food, the shelter, and the clothing. Achieve the three basic things so that at least you can show up tomorrow. Stay in a needy state so that at least they can be able to control you. Because there's one thing that you can never control in this life. You can never control a financially free individual. So if you are not free, then at the end of the day, you're going to be controlled. So that amount of money that you get at the end of the month is meant to stay or put you in a state that you be needy throughout the time. So only thing that you need to do out of your salary is to be a little bit smart, be smart out of it, actually create, or should I say, be able to leverage on it so that at least you can create what we call the financial freedom out of it. So hating it, you're just actually shooting your foot. So you ain't supposed to hate it, but I'm not saying you're supposed to appreciate it. At all the occasions when you show up to that specific place that you usually work, believe and understand this. Hey, this is not the place that I would love to be, but guess what? As of now and as of today, this is where I am. So I'm going to be the best and I'm going to produce the best. The focus is you have focusing your wrong energy. You're focusing your energy at a wrong direction, because there are some people who say, I'm going to be the best employee in this place. Why? Because I'm aiming at getting an elevation, or should I say sort of appreciation in terms of your job and that kind of a thing, because you do believe if you get more powers in return, you're gonna get more income. And at the end of the day, you're still gonna remain in a state of being employed, and you rather be employed physically, but mentally don't be employed. So what you're supposed to understand is this: respect that job that you're getting, respect that place that you're working, and that money that you're getting, all right, it is not meant to cater for your nice to have and all those kind of fancy things and what have you. First of all, the primary target of it is to cater for your basic needs. So if it caters for your basic needs, all right, therefore I always say live below your means, create the surplus, get the surplus, save the surplus, and invest the surplus at the same time, create another passive income, and now aim towards actually improving. And this is what I'm going to give you as a very simple formula. This is what I want you to do. All right, fine. This is you here. All right, you're employed, and let's say you get 40,000 at the end of the month. All right, this is what you get at the end of the month. And then your lifestyle actually, maybe let's say it's around, you're supposed to place it below this. Say you survive at a 30,000 lifestyle, meaning you create a surplus there. It is what? 10,000. Now you take this 10,000, what do? You invest. Now this is the formula you apply. You invest this 10,000. Once you invest this 10,000, at the end of the month, this 10,000 gives you, say, 5,000. All right, gives you 5,000. Now if it gives you 5,000, guess what now happens? The 40,000 that you usually get plus the 5,000, now in that home instead, you're now having yourself a 45,000 income. All right, that's not the point. The point is this: you elevate this 5,000 that you're getting at the end of the month to a point whereby it actually can reach to what you're earning at the end of the month. If you can work, it will take time. I'm not saying it's a simple thing. No, it is not. If it is, then everyone will be doing so. All right, it needs consistency, it needs discipline, and it needs what we call the sacrifice. All right, so now the point is you elevate this, and the only thing you can do this is to plow back into the investment. Number three, you also need to do something that is called, a consistency in terms of the, investment, so that you can get what we call the passive income. The passive income, remember I told you, it's like the baby money. This money is the parent money. This is the baby money. So the point is this: work towards improving that what you've invested on your money, all right, to a point whereby you at par, that what you're earning as your passive, all right, is equivalent to that what you're getting as your main income. All right, so if you get yourself in this kind of a state, guess what happens? Even if you get fired or even if you decide to quit, you are safe and secured, because you are already making that 40,000 that you really need to sustain yourself in a normal life. But do you quit now just because you've actually elevated your passive income to a point whereby it's at equal value with that what you're getting at the end of the month? Not really so. But if you're forced by the circumstance, if you're in a situation whereby you really have to quit, then you can. But the point is this: you actually elevate that, even if it goes beyond that what you're getting as your salary or as your income, then at that particular point, you're now heading to what we call the financial freedom. And maybe probably you do not know what's a financial freedom. A financial freedom is being in a state whereby that what you want, not, you see, most of the people tend to think like a financial freedom really means that you have the capability to purchase that what you want at any moment. Well, in one way it's true. If you have that capability of purchasing that what you want, that what you there's a difference between what you want and what you can. So if you have the financial freedom, you are able to actually go ahead and purchase that. But in most cases, the financial freedom simply means you are in a state whereby even if you want to get something today, you can, because you have the ability financially, you have the financial muscle. You see, it's not really actuality of getting the thing, but the ability to actually get it. For example, have you ever been broke and maybe passed by where they are doing the nyama choma thing and what have you, and you're having a very weird craving and you're like, oh gosh, if I get money next, then I'll show up to this place and I'm gonna eat that nyama choma and what have you. And what happens when you have money? You don't even feel those cravings, because you know at the back of your head, hey, if I want it, I can just grab it. That's the difference. It's that mentality. Because if you view money from the consumer mentality, then you'll be like, hey, money should be consumed. Every time you get it, should be consumed. That's not the point. And when I get the money, it should keep me good and what have you. That's not really the point. The point is when you get yourself in a situation whereby you actually know, hey, there's a new car that actually has come out. No issue. It's not a big deal. I mean, I can just make a call and then the car shows up in my doorstep. You see, that's what we call the financial freedom. Not really purchasing it, not really actuality of you getting that thing in real life. It's you knowing at the back of your head you can actually acquire that thing anytime you want. All right, that's the point. Now, this is the point. Don't rush into quitting that job. And even if you hate that specific job, just embrace it. All right, don't appreciate, but just embrace it, respect it, because that is the primary source of your income, and that is the place that you can actually get some money to actually invest in future. Because let's be sincere, say you want to quit. All right, let's just be sincere. Say you want to quit and you decide, hey, from today I ain't gonna be working from this place, and you decide to go home. Then it means even that what you used to hate, even that small that you used to get, then at the end of the day you ain't gonna get that. So what do? So you stay to where you are, hold still, hold your dog. That's where the sacrifice comes in, right? And you do that continuously. That's what we call this consistency. And then what we say, discipline. You do exactly that what you say you're gonna do. What? You sacrifice and be consistent. That's what we call the discipline. And then after that, doing that continuously, and of course incorporating budget in your life, making sure that you create the surplus, invest the surplus, and now out of the surplus, now you create the passive income. Now you aim at getting the passive income to a level whereby you're having a passive income equivalent to that what you're getting at the end of the month. Now, at that particular point, guess what? You're now starting to become financially free. Why? Because you're feeling on, okay, fine. If today I was to quit this job, or if something happens to this job, then at the end of the day, I have a soft landing. See, the most frustrating thing that keeps people to stick to their jobs is because they know, even if they were to quit this job, they do not have a soft landing. So at the end of the day, it's gonna be tough on them. In Kenya, we say, kitakuramba. So that means that you're gonna stay to that place that you do not love, but you have to do so because, hey, you have children, you have some bills to pay, you have some dreams to work on. So the point is this: don't rush into quitting your job. Just stick around. Or what you need to do, just be smart enough, understand you've never been employed to make yourself rich. You are there to create or to be still in a needy state. Obviously, you need to be a healthy needy situation or a healthy needy individual who gonna show up each and every day to that premise, to work as much as they can, to make sure that they provide for their family, and also to make sure if you do have the brains, you can be able to create something out of that. Right? Guess what? That marks the end of my video, but doesn't mean it's the end of me posting a video each and every day, because that is exactly what I do. So if you don't want to miss any of my good videos in the future, do this. Doesn't cost you anything and it's free of charge. Down below there is a button written subscribe. It is in black. Hit that magical button, turn the notification bell, and guess what happens? And if you like this video, you'll be notified whenever I upload a new good video. All right, so anyway guys, guess what? Don't forget as well, you can as well grab my number from the description of this specific video and get to contact me and get to have a conversation with me on matters pertaining to finance, making money, investing money, financial management, businesses, investments, and all those kind of areas. All right, I offer those services at a cup of coffee's price. All right, but also don't forget, I do have myself booklets about investment, so you can get booklet of your choice. Any piece goes for 280 Kenyan shillings. For now, it's a goodbye and see you in the next one.